Good morning, everybody. Happy January 3rd. It is about 10 o'clock here in mid-Minnesota. I'm outside the Twin Cities. It is about 0 degrees. Can you believe that? Real feel of about 1. It looks fairly nice out today, but don't let that sun fool you because it is chilly. Lately, we've been talking about surrender on this channel. Yesterday, I did, I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did 5 live streams yesterday on 2 channels and 1 page, and I was sharing surrender. What does surrender mean to you? What does it mean? What does it mean? What do you think it means? Let me tell you a little bit about what I think it means. It involves letting go of judgment, denial, blame, excuses, and it's in a sense taking ownership of our own recovery journey. So you're surrendering what you can surrender. You can't surrender anybody else's stuff, and they can't surrender yours. So and when we talk about surrendering, and the outreach that we talk about, it involves letting go of our need to control, and it involves our ego as well. So, when we have an awakening in our life, a spiritual awakening or a spiritual epiphany, and we finally start to line up with some things that we were waiting to line up with in our life, and once we get have that awakening or spiritual awakening, our ego is no longer going to play a main role in our life, right? Our ego is there mainly just to protect us, right? It's there for protection, and it's very black and white. It's very cut and dry, right? So it requires a willingness to try something new and to accept this help from guidance and from others, especially because in recovery we can't do this alone. And so when we talk about surrender and what does it mean and how do we look at surrender in each one of our lives, and because surrender is a process, and the power of surrender cannot be understated, but there are people out there that are not willing to surrender to what they have going on in their lives, like an addiction. There's this guy named Dr. Talbot, and he was a psychiatrist the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And he was actually Dr. Bill psychiatrist. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but in the mid 1950s and 60s, Bill Wilson, one of the founders, Bill W. of AA, of our program that we work, The Steps, he fell into a deep clinical depression for about 11 years. And Dr. Talbot was his psychiatrist and tried to help him get it out. So he shares in this article about how we can be unreasonable, stubborn, and defiant when it comes to surrendering to the process, right? To the therapeutic process, to the recovery process, to the journey, to sobriety. Because when we're looking at surrendering as an individual, we're influenced by so many things. And so when we look at what we each individually need to surrender, that's what we're looking at, right? We're not looking at who else needs to do what they need to do to surrender. You got to worry about you. And you're going to worry about your program because you don't want to drink, or you don't want to drug, or you don't want to overeat, or you don't want to hurt people. So whatever it is that you're surrendering up, you're going to have to handle that in your own way, and not look to others so much as what they've done. But others is a very huge part of our program because we can't do this alone. And so that inner strength and that inner confidence might be flailing at times, but our group source is a good, reliable source of real strength and help if you have a good system. Okay, so a part of surrendering isn't surrendering in the sense that you're all alone and you're giving everything up. No, actually, really what you're doing is you're trading one thing for the other. You're trading defiance and uncompliance and demands and instant gratification and whatever else we get in all that drinking and drugging, and you're going to turn it over for meditation, for prayer. You're going to surrender it for I can do this, anything is possible, I accept the reality of my life, and I look to God to ask him for help and seek guidance to be better, right? So don't ignore the urges to surrender, because I bet you those urges are real, and in essence they're saying that you can do this. And sometimes we fight that. We fight back and we say, "No, we can't do this. We're not strong enough. We need more of this, more of that, more of this, more of that." But listen, we're going to be able to get through this one day at a time. And so that's what we're talking today about, is surrender. I hope that helped you. Love you guys.